actually not. Oh, here we go. This meeting is being live streamed. Stay in the meeting need to be okay. Is it showing up with you guys as live
Yeah.
streaming?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, happy days. Right. So I'm just gonna get stuck straight in. I don't care who jumps on live, but the point of us to be streaming it is so that people can just watch and I don't need to upload it later on because it's a pain in the bum. So this is your bonus video. I wanted to bring on some experts that weren't me because I'm not an expert in everything. To talk about like basic health tips. So I have to remember to look at this webcam as well. The screen's so huge. To talk about basic health tips, because whenever we're talking about moving into the summertime and like losing momentum and losing all of our routines and our good habits, a lot of the times the first thing to go is eating well and making sure that we're drinking well. So these guys here, this is Ruth Monroe and Shivani Kerr, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and we're just going to have a wee chat today about things that you might have maybe overlooked or maybe you kind of tend to just not do to take care of yourself. So it'll be a real casual wee conversation, and we'll go to Shivani. Would you like to introduce yourself first?
Yeah, I'm a health coach, and I help people lead healthier, happier lives. I'm not really specific in anything. Like, you can come to me and discuss it, and whether it's emotional help or support or some kind of dietary advice, whatever, I do that.
Awesome. Nice to have you. Thank you so much. Like, you have just been a real fount of information for me in my healing journey over the years. Like, you give me all these wee like nuggets of wisdom. I love it. So yeah, if anybody needs to know, especially like Ayurvedic medicine and like gut health, kind of those sort of things, you're really good at giving me advice about. And then Ruth, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi guys, yeah. I'm a skin pro. I have a private skin clinic up the road here in Lima Valley, up along the north coast. So I spend my days talking to people about diet and nutrition for healthy skin. Do you know, I'm not into the whole synthetic approach to anti-aging. Do you know?
Yeah.
I'm into tweaks and things like that, but I prefer the natural approach to aging gracefully, I suppose. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ruth, you were definitely like, see, the other day whenever we were doing voice notes back and forth, like, see, just telling me to wash my face with cold water was like a major help. So see, even like wee things like that, like I never would have thought to do, but like it's literally changed this whole week for me. It's like washing with cold water has been so much more gentle on the skin.
Yeah.
So in terms of whenever I say basic health needs not being met, what do you guys come across most with your clients that would be like the number one and number two things that they tend to overlook most?
For me, in my clinic, Julie,
I love that big eye roll you just did there.
It's do you know what? Nearly all the clients are the same. Do you know, people come to me because they've got a problem with their skin, because I really only work with the problem skin. So acne, rosacea, psoriasis, eczema, things like that. And I take the 360 approach, you know, the environmental factors, what they're using on their skin. But the key thing really is, you know, diet and nutrition. And when we look, I'm forever preaching about the food industry, do you know, all these ultra processed foods and things that we're eating. And whenever we look at the wrong fats that people are eating, you know, we've got like Weight Watchers and Slimming World, and they're telling people, encouraging people to eat the no fat yogurts and any amount of them that they want, and, you know, the 1 cal cooking sprays and the Floralites instead of your beef dripping and your grass-fed ghee. So we're confusing these fats, and, you know, these are trans fats and they're unhealthy fats. And they're causing a lot of like inflammation in the skin, which leads to skin concerns, gut health problems, which leads to eczema and things. So for me, all I talk about is fats and proteins, do you know, because again, another big buzzword in the industry is collagen. And it's a fad, it's a gimmick, and I'm like...
I heard about this actually, that I seen somebody like was sitting, it was for a very brief period of time. It was a girl I knew was selling like collagen that you take in a tablet, but doesn't it, am I not right in thinking like it just gets lost in the stomach, like those kinds of things? Yeah.
Collagen is synthesized, collagen is made inside the body, and collagen is supported and it's synthesized through, guess what, proteins, fats, and antioxidants. And the problem that we're coming across now, and we're seeing people aging so badly, is because they've got the wrong fats, they've got the pro-inflammatory fats in. They're not eating good quality proteins now. Like back decades ago, whenever our grandparents and great-grandparents were eating proper grass-fed meat, organic free-range chickens and things like that, you know, real good quality stuff, and lots of like mackerel and sardines and kippers and all those things that we used to eat in abundance. That was good proteins with the BCCAs, which supports your collagen alongside those antioxidants from all your good quality fruits and veg, you know.
What are BCCAs?
They're just your active ingredients, the amino acids within your protein, within your meats, really. So it's your amino acid profile, which we don't get from collagen supplements. I mean, I would encourage my clients more than often to go just with a really good, obviously getting their proteins in from meats as much as possible. I know some people are vegetarian and vegan, where they can look at other things like lentils and all your different beans, your kidney beans and all your pulses and things, you know, but definitely have a look at a really good quality protein replacement rather than a collagen.
Well, there's amazing vegan protein powders available everywhere. And, you know, the thing is that what you got to do and what we have to do, unfortunately, if you are looking for something like that, is learn to read your ingredient list, which is so important. We, you know, just because don't just read the label and the marketing which is being thrown at you, learn to read the fine print and what's in it. And if you don't recognize it as food, and it's not something that, you know, you don't see, like you have to sit and think, what is this? Well, then it's not food. It's not food.
What are your opinions on that view that you should be able to, so in the ingredients list, there should only be 5 products or something, or you should be able to recognize them? Is that like a kind of good rule of thumb?
Yeah, if you're buying a ready meal, and if you're buying something that you can, you know, make up quickly. Now, it's not possible always. I actually bought mung bean pasta, and I was amazed at how much protein that was in it. Organic mung bean pasta. And it's delicious, you know, just fried with a little bit of garlic butter and a bit of spinach through it. And it was mung bean fettuccine, available from a store that's on most of our high streets. And it was high in protein, and it was grass-fed butter with some garlic and spinach. So you got your phytonutrients as well. And such a simple dish, which took me exactly 10 minutes to make.
Nice. See, that's the thing as well. Like whenever you say things like lentils and pulses and all, people haven't a fucking clue how to cook those things. Like even I'm a vegetarian. I've been a vegetarian for eight years maybe now, and like people like still I get stumped whenever I'm like, oh, maybe I should use up all these fucking cans in my cupboard. And like what else can I do with chickpeas? It isn't a fucking sweet potato stew. Do you know what I mean? So that's really like good that you just could throw it in pasta. So in terms of ingredients, what are some big no-nos, Shivani?
In terms of ingredients, if you can't pronounce it and you don't recognize it, there is a massive, there's actually, when, like, I'm not going to take any names. I'm really resisting taking names here. But yes, a lot of people have now become allergic to dairy because we're not getting grass-fed dairy, and you know it all becomes skewed when a animal that's meant to eat grass is being fed grain. It changes the makeup of the animal, it changes the milk, the makeup of the milk, it changes, you know, as much as we are what we eat, you feed animals grain which are meant to be eating grass, what the benefits of their milk, the cheese, the butter, the meat, it all changes. So you know, try and eat traditional food as much as you can. You know, like what does it take to scrub a baked sweet potato and put it in the oven? And I actually read somewhere that, you know, they just took, you know, it's not in Africa and India, there's the sweet potatoes white, but our sweet potatoes orange. And they took that sweet potato to Africa and gave it to a class of children. They gave that sweet potato every day to those kids. And see, in 1 month, their nutrient deficiencies disappeared just by eating one sweet potato baked.
Oh,
You
very
know, like,
good.
what does it take? Scrub a bit of sweet potato and stick it in the oven.
Yeah. One sweet potato. I really love sweet potato myself. And I've also heard the same about avocados as well. Like if you
That's
were to
right.
like eat nothing else every day, if everything else was shit, if you had an avocado every single day, your nutritional needs would be met. Would that be right? Like surely you would need something else, not all of your
Oh,
nutritional
yeah.
needs.
Not all, no, not all, but yeah, again, you know, getting an avocado, chopping it up, putting some spinach into it, putting some olive oil, salt and pepper, a little bit of balsamic vinegar, some cherry tomatoes, cucumber. How long does that take? We've just got into the habit of wanting to ready-made, quick from the shelf. And we don't realize that it's wrapped in plastic. We heat it in plastic. I mean, I was guilty of doing that. I was guilty. I did it for years and completely wrecked my health and landed on the other side. And I was like, you know, this person that I did not recognize at all, and ended up with osteoarthritis, and I had to make a massive lifestyle change. I had high cholesterol, had so much trouble, like, you know, and you've seen my journey, Julie, you know, like as much as I helped you, you've helped me over the years. It's been mutual, the relationship.
Yeah. When I first met you, you were like you had a really bad limp. Like you were kind of you walked you even walk differently now, so you do.
Yeah, and I don't I don't take any pharmaceuticals anymore. I literally do not even, I haven't had a painkiller in 3 years. Not a
Nice.
single painkiller.
And this has all been done from like watching what you're putting into your body, isn't it? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, one of the things, and you know, as much as fat is turned into this enemy, like I went down that road. So I know fat was the enemy, and everything was low fat, low fat, low fat, low fat, it just got thrown at us. And what did we end up with? Joints, you know, that don't function properly, you know, and yeah. And then I met Ruth a couple of years ago, and then haven't looked back since then.
Yay.
Do you know what my biggest tip would be? And Shivani, you talk about this quite a lot, and I talk about this to all my clients. People are buying pre-chopped vegetables, pre-chopped onions, peppers. Do you know, everything comes, like even grated cheese. Do you know, if you look at the difference in the ingredients in a solid block of cheese against a bag of grated cheese, there's all sorts of additives in there to keep the cheese separated, to stop it from clumping. So my biggest tip is to encourage people to not buy pre-chopped things. You know, stop going with convenience. It doesn't take long to, you know, wash a lettuce and chop it up, and, you know, buy your full whole peppers and chop them up, and courgettes and all that. You know, anything that's chopped up is oxidized, so we're not getting the right micronutrients from them. You know, fruit and vegetables don't have the same nutrient density as they used to anymore without already being oxidized whenever we're purchasing them pre-chopped, you know.
And like human beings, that's one thing I was talking about yesterday, is like we are already under a lot of oxidative stress. Is just from the way we breathe, is like we're over breathing as it is. And then if we're eating over oxidized vegetables, like did you see like fucking Japan had like pre-peeled oranges that were shrink wrapped? Like I really hope that shit doesn't come this way. Just be like, what is wrong with people? It's just the name of convenience, everything, all sense has been lost, really. Like, so your advice is then to kind of avoid convenience foods, really. Like,
we just have to go back to basics, Julie, you know. And for me, it was, because I am of Indian origin, for me, it was going back to my roots. And how many times have I said to you, like, oh my God, Julie, my mother used to do that. Oh my God, my grandmother used to. Why did I stop following those things? And it's because, you know, I was really young, and, you know, they just did all these things. And one of the things I remember was, if my mother, if she ever, God rest her, seen me opening a carton of juice and drinking it, I think she would have freaked, because you see, in our house, the juice was taken out fresh. And if you drink it in an hour, it was thrown. It was literally thrown. She made you drink it. And she was going to, because it was that thing about oxidization. But you know what I did the other day? I cut an apple in half. It was actually to prove something to a client. I wanted to show her oxidative stress. And whatever way, whatever they've done, the apples don't even go as brown as they used to. I mean, if you remember back years ago, when you cut an apple, it went brown in half an hour. Apple wasn't going brown.
Yeah.
Like black fruit and veg.
It's like the strawberries you buy from Tesco's. I've done that myself as well to show people, Shivani. Do you know, you buy strawberries from some of the big supermarket chains and they're grand in the fridge for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I buy strawberries from the local greengrocer, Marshall House, or I bought some in the butcher's today, which were actually beautiful, but they'll be moldy tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed that in ours as well, yeah.
And your bread.
I always thought it was just because we were washing them straight away and then leaving maybe a bit of water in the bottom of the wee bowl. Maybe they were just going mushy, but is that just oxidative stuff then? But yeah.
It's whatever they're putting on the strawberries and things to preserve them, Julie.
Yeah.
You know,
and it just goes to show that, like, even if you were to wash your stuff now, like what you said about the apples, Shivani, like it's just going deep into the apple now. It's not even just like preservatives or spray on the outside. It's like part of the plant now.
Can I give you my one tip that if anybody takes away anything from this call is, and it was actually one of my friends who is a nutritionist, Brenda, you've met Brenda, haven't you, Julie? I think she came up to you. She's a nutritionist and she's I was like, you know, it's not possible to eat organic all the time. Never mind the prohibitive cost of eating organic. And this was about the conversation we had about 4 or 5 years ago when organic was really expensive. And I says, you know, and you don't get everything organic. And you know what she said? She's like, all she does is she goes and buys normal fruit and veg. She fills up her sink. She puts loads of vinegar in it and she just soaks everything in vinegar. And do you know what? I remember my mum doing that.
I started doing that actually, yeah.
Yeah, and just soaked and removed as much of the toxicity. You know, like, why don't we use things like vinegar anymore?
You know.
How much did your mum and your grandmother use vinegar? Whereas now it's just to put on chips. That's all.
Yeah.
We've forgotten its cleansing properties completely.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I recommend everybody is to start using copper. And I got Ruth to buy a copper jug. I think I got you to buy a copper jug as well, didn't I?
Me? No, but I've heard of this. I have other Indian friends as well, and they had like copper pots and pans and stuff as well. And it always made me go, what? And then you've just said it and it reminded me.
Yeah, and how else would you get copper? You know, like copper is important for your brain and your nervous system. You know, I mean, everybody in the pandemic realized how important zinc was. Suddenly zinc was this important thing. And our soil is so depleted that all these micronutrients, these little things that used to be in it, or how we, you know, like we would have drunk out of metal vessels and metal pots and all that. Now it's all glass, and never mind
Plastic.
the glass is actually good. Plastic.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
It really is crazy. I forever seeing clients with skin conditions, you know, going to these low fat food items, choosing the low calorie options, like thinking that fiber is coming from Fiber One bars, you know.
Yeah.
And it's lack of education, you know, and that's why I'm so passionate about this, Julie, because the education just isn't out there, and it should be taught to children ground level in school, you know.
Yeah,
it should be. We're still being taught that, like, you know, sugar needs to be a big part of the diet. Cereals, you were going on about cereals the other day, like that, you know, cereals need to be a big part of the diet. Do you find, like, once you give that education, Ruth, you can see, because like for me with my skin shit, I've been doing a lot of like reading and stuff, and obviously your skin is like a reflection of what's going on inside. So whenever you give this education about the food and stuff, what kind of results are you seeing with your people?
If I can encourage my clients and give them the right information, share the knowledge, Julie, and if the clients stick to the program I recommend, you've seen my results, you know. And it's not even skin, like it's gut issues. People coming to me with like chronic IBS, IBD, ulcerative colitis. Like there's a lady owns a pet food shop in the town here. She was housebound for 2 years because like couldn't go on holidays, couldn't go out of the house because she was just running to the toilet constantly. I'm going back about a year ago now. I fixed her gut within 4 to 5 months, and the clients that have came to me through that, like, so I deal with a lot of gut issues now. It's more gut clients that I would say, you know, but it's problem skin, and that all starts with gut. issues. She had actually came to me because she had rosacea on her skin. And then I dug deeper into the consultation and found out that she had chronic problems with her gut. And since then, now I think everyone in the town knew that she had really bad gut problems because I hadn't seen her in a long time. And she just tells everyone now, go and see Ruth Monroe, you know.
Brilliant.
So yeah, do you know, fibromyalgia, Shivani sees it too. We work together quite a lot of stuff, you know, as you know, Julie.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, it's a really simple fix, and it's small dietary changes. Like, I never will tell my clients to stop eating the foods that they love, but I'll encourage healthy swaps and healthy changes. Like, don't eat bread, you know, don't eat brioche. And the brioche is in every child's lunchbox now. Do you know, it's got a 6-month expiry date. Do you know, go to the bakers and get yourself a decent sourdough or batches that have been, you know, baked fresh that day, and they're going to be stale tomorrow, you know. If you're eating a burger, don't be going to Mackey's. Go and get your proper Aberdeen Angus steak burger from the butchers, you know. So it's all about healthy, just making those small switches, you know. And it makes
That's actually
big
really
difference.
a liberating way of looking at it, because I think a lot of people think, you know, oh, when I go on the healthy route, I have to stop, you know, having to stop eating my burgers, I have to stop drinking. Like, what is your views on coffee, by the way?
Love it.
You love it? Like, but do you think like it's bad for you? Because like I know that there's a lot of it can be
it's
really
organic.
inflammatory.
If it's
Well-
organic and it's good quality coffee, it's good for you.
Yeah, full of antioxidants, full of polyphenols, but not like the proper like beans coffee that you grind yourself. Do you know?
Yeah.
I'm not saying everyone rush out and go to Starbucks either, and you know, buy their
Oh God, no,
lattes and
Starbucks is
stuff
one of the worst.
Well, there's
I've
sugar. They
full
put
of sugar.
I've given up my Starbucks. You know, I actually, coffee is one of the most sprayed beans. I if it's not organic, I won't drink it.
Mhm.
Fridays, so good to know.
I
I'm
mean,
gonna go
it's
check.
just- I mean,
make sure my
I don't mind
machine-
giving a brand. Clipper is a really good organic brand.
Yeah, I like the Clipper. That's
It's really, really good, and it's so tasty. And actually, when I drank a Clipper coffee, I was like, deal with this.
actually
Mhm.
quite nice. Cool. I have to go check and make sure my beans are actually organic and the ones we use from the machine. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's wrap it up then, guys. So our takeaways are, let's go back to eating fats, avoiding all the no fats stuff.
Yeah.
Let's go back to
Quality
chopping our
fats,
vegetables.
really. Sorry,
Quality fats.
good quality fats. Yeah.
Good quality fats.
Yeah.
We'll go back to raw vegetables that we have to chop ourselves, not bagged up pre-chopped. We need to look out for ingredients, make sure if there's anything in it that we can't pronounce, we don't want to be eating that,
All recognized.
or recognize,
Yeah.
don't want to be eating it. Why is that? It's most likely chemicals and additives and like preservatives and stuff that we would normally eat,
Yeah.
isn't that right? Okay.
Yeah.
And now what else? Give me a quick recap. There's been so many wee things here.
Yeah. I always say to clients as well, don't count calories, count the chemicals in your food. Do you know, if you're eating real whole foods, there's no chemicals in there.
Or ingredients.
Yeah, there's no processing. Your body knows how to process them. It's all natural. And they often contain a lot less calories than the processed low-fat items. Do you know?
Yeah, and the thing is, in the long run, like if you're going for things that are like low in calories, they'll not fill you as much as what you would if you just went for something that maybe had higher calories, but it was going to fill you and was more healthy. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, eat what you want, but eat the healthier option. It might be higher calories. Okay. And okay, so going forward, moving into the summer holidays, is there any like one massive thing that guys need to do and don't do? I know what you're going to say, Ruth.
Well, I get a lot of calls about, I'm constipated, you know, keep your water intake high, avoid your alcoholic sugary drinks. You know, everyone likes what we drink. You know, we have to live, and I always say we got to go back to living 80, like everything in moderation. You know, if we can be good 80% of the time, and you know, let our hair down one day a week, it's not going to be really detrimental to our health. You know, but we've got that, Julie, ask about face. You know, we're bad 80% of the time and good 20%.
Yeah.
You know, so I believe everything in moderation. If you're having a drink, vodka, gin, whiskey, you know, good quality alcohols. Avoid the WKDs and the ciders and all those things that are really, really sugar, really, really bad for you, going to dehydrate you more, and all that kind of stuff. So that's my kind of tip for the summer.
Thank you. Awesome. Shivani, do you have one off the top of your head? I think I kind of put you in the
I
spot.
actually do, yeah, I actually do. And I was going to say the one Ruth said, but I have one other tip. And I used to wear a lot of sun protection constantly because I used to burn a lot. And what I found since I increased my healthy fats, I don't burn as quickly. With the result, I don't let the sun on my face. I have a wide brim hat, and I don't care how I look. I wear my hat. I don't let the sun on my face at all, but I bare my arms and my legs for at least half an hour, because if we don't load up on vitamin D, and you can sit and take supplements, not every vitamin D supplement works. It's a fat soluble supplement. You have to take it in the morning, you know, take it in the evening. There's a lot of hullabaloo around the vitamin D supplement. It's far easier to go in the sun and get your vitamin D stocked up, because guys, it's going to be a long winter. Let's face it, we're in the UK. But make sure your face is covered, and don't constantly slap on a lot of SPF, because you ain't getting your vitamin D then.
Okay.
I agree. Probably the only skin therapist in the whole of Northern Ireland that will tell people not to screen from the sun. Don't abuse the sun.
Yeah.
But
Half an hour, 35 minutes. That's it.
yeah.
You know, when your skin starts to tingle, get out.
Yeah.
And if you've got a good dose of healthy fats, and I swear to God, I used to wear 25 because I was so low in my healthy fats with my low fat diet that I burnt so easily. I mean, I'm Indian and I was burning, you know.
I was thinking that. I was like, that's the first I've heard of it.
No, seriously, but that's because of how my diet changed and everything changed.
Okay.
I went from playing basketball in 35-degree heat to not being able to even, you know, constantly worrying about the sun. And that's because that's what we've, and see now, I mean, just gonna show you my tan line.
Yeah.
You know?
I think I could pass for Indian, Shivani.
Yeah.
I love the sun, you know, in this good weather. I have been sitting out in it, you know, only kind of 5-10 minute breaks that I get through coaching and through work. But I'm the same as Shivani. I keep my good quality fats high, eat loads of avocado every day. Love guacamole, homemade, of course. And keep my antioxidants, my phyto and micronutrients high, so I don't burn in the sun at all.
Yeah.
In fact, I actually use an olive oil on my skin.
Oh, okay.
Don't try that at home, by the way.
Yours is a really specific type of olive oil out.
Yeah. It's a really high antioxidant olive oil. So yeah, and I don't apply it before I go in the sun. I'll apply it in the evening time as a moisturizer to my skin. And then the antioxidants are in my skin for the next day.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much. I went on a wee bit longer than what I thought, but that was a lot of good information, and hopefully everybody watching will be like, ooh, gotta take all these notes. So also just throwing it out there, these guys haven't like said anything. This isn't like a promotional thing, but if you want to work with any of these girls, like they would be more than happy to do wee consultations with you if you want. Am I right in saying that, you guys? Yeah, you're taking clients. Yeah. Honestly, if you I know I do a lot of like the spiritual stuff, the meditation and everything, but these guys, if you're wanting, you know, obviously skin health and gut health and general health other than spiritual sides, check out Shivani. Shivani has a YouTube channel called Shivy's Table, SHIVVY's Table. And Ruth, are you on Instagram or Facebook or both?
Both, yeah, Skin Side Out.
Skin Side Out, okay. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. And I'm going to sign off now, and I will see you again. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys. Lovely to chat to you.
You too, love. Bye.
Bye. Bye.